What's up, everybody? My name is Josh LaFleur with Late Start Piano. Today, I want to talk about some of the advantages that adults have when beginning the piano compared to maybe if you're a kid or you're 16, 15, if you're 10, 12, whatever age you are, if you're a kid. These are going to be 7 advantages that adults have that minors or somebody who's under 18, let's say, for example, do not have. I'm really making this video because I feel like a lot of people believe that if you're not some kind of child prodigy, if you did not start playing the piano when you were 5 years old, 7 years old, that means that your musical dreams are lost and that you're hopeless and there's nothing else you can do. I'm here today to tell you that that's not true. Adults have a lot of advantages over kids when it comes to learning the piano. And I know that as a minor, like even if you try to learn a new language or something like that, if you're a kid, you tend to learn that language a little bit quicker. Same with piano. If you start young, you're going to have that advantage. But it doesn't mean that it's impossible to learn piano later in life. And it also does not mean that you don't have any advantages. I'm about to give you 7 advantages right now that adults have over minors. So let's get right into it. I have my list here written down. So first thing is when you're an adult, you can invest in yourself. What does that mean? It means that you have a job, you have a business, you have a form of income that you can use, and you can invest that in piano books, in paying a teacher, in buying a piano course, in taking some other kind of lessons, maybe music theory lessons. You have disposable income that you can use to invest in yourself to get better at the piano. If you're 10 years old, 12 years old, you don't have any income. You're relying on your parents. If they don't want to pay for piano lessons, that sucks. Too bad. You have to get a job. But as an adult, you have that disposable income. You can make that money and put a certain piece of it aside into investing in yourself. So that's the first one. That one's huge. Second advantage that adults have is that you have a clear motivation. Okay, what I mean by that is you actually want to play the piano. A lot of times, especially when you're a kid, you are kind of forced into playing the piano, right? Your parents want you to succeed. They want you to take music lessons. They might have you in sports that you didn't really want to do, music lessons you don't want to do, whatever. A lot of kids, they get forced into playing the piano, and that hurts them in the long run because they lose the love for music. They don't have any drive, and a lot of times they quit, right, as soon as they can. Or maybe once they get to the college, maybe once they get a little bit older, like 16, 17, in high school, they decide to quit because they were forced to do it. They never actually wanted to. When you're an adult, you're choosing to play piano. If you go out and you buy a piano and you pay for piano lessons, it's because you want to. It's not because your parents or your friend or your significant other is forcing you to do it. It's not. Nobody's holding a gun to your head making you take piano lessons, or you're not court ordered by a judge to play the piano. You're doing it because you want to, which means you're going to have a lot more motivation. With that, point number 3 is you're going to have a lot more discipline and focus. Again, because this is something that you actually want to do. You want to play the piano. So you're going to be able to have that discipline and that focus to set time aside to practice and to also make sure that you're staying on track when you do. So when you're practicing, you're making sure that you are doing what you're supposed to do. You're not scrolling on your phone. You're not just watching the clock, hoping for time to pass by as quickly as possible. You're not doing any of that. You sit down, you're focused, you're disciplined to get better because, again, something you want to do. Fourth point is you have that deeper emotional connection to music. Now, this is also a big one because when you're a kid, when you're 6 or 7 or 10, and you're that child prodigy, you might be able to read sheet music really well. You might be able to play the piano really well. But sometimes, especially as kids, you only play the notes as written. You just play the ink, okay? A lot of times it lacks the expression and the dynamics that piano playing really needs, okay? And that comes from having that emotional connection to music, which you get a lot of times through life experiences. For example, if you had a song played at your wedding and you love this song, you and your significant other love this song, you automatically have this deeper emotional connection to that song. So when you play it, that's going to come out in the music. You're going to put in those expressions, you're going to put in those dynamics, you're going to be play loud, play soft, accent certain notes. It's going to help you get the feel of the song across, okay? It's not going to be just you playing the ink, but you're going to be able to emotionally communicate that and push that through with the song that you're playing. So that's another big point. Point number 5 is you're going to be able to self-reflect, okay? So even if you don't have a teacher, or if you do have a teacher but they tell you something that you don't want to hear, hopefully you have the ability to not take that personally, and you also have the ability to self-correct yourself. So if you don't have a teacher, you can listen to something. If you know you're not playing it correctly, you can fix it. If you're a child, you might not be able to do that. You might not have the ear yet for that. If it doesn't sound good, or if it doesn't sound as good as it could be, you might not have that ability as a kid. When you're an adult, you can self-direct a lot more, self-reflect. You can talk to yourself much more, I guess, as a adult to adult, right? You're not afraid to sugarcoat anything, and you can be a little bit more harsh on yourself. You can self-reflect, and you can get better because of that. Point number 6 is you have full control over your schedule. At least you have more control over your schedule than you normally would if you're a kid. If you're a kid, you get told, okay, this is what time you're getting up, this is what time you're going to school, you have lunch here, then after that you're going to go to football practice, then you're going to come home, you're going to do your homework, you're going to shower up, and you're going to go to bed. When you're an adult, you have a little bit more time. I know if you're working a 9 to 5, you're putting a lot of time in your job, or if you have a business, you're putting a lot of time into the business, but you have control over it, okay? You're still an adult. You can get up earlier if you want, and with that discipline and that focus, you can do that. If you want to practice piano later in the day, if you want to go to bed at midnight, then you can do that as well to practice the piano. The point is, you have a lot more time over your schedule. If you don't want to go to your cousin's birthday party on Saturday and Sunday, or your friend's birthday party on Saturday or Sunday, as a kid, you might be forced to because the whole family's going, which means you have to as well. But when you're an adult, you can say, I'm not going to go to that birthday party or that bar with my friends. I'm going to stay home and I'm going to practice piano. And that's a huge advantage. Having that control of your time like that is a huge advantage that kids don't have, that adults do have when learning the piano. And point number 7 is an easy one here, but your hands are going to physically be bigger, which means you're going to have a greater range over the piano. You're going to be able to play octaves a little bit more easily than a kid would, which is going to help you play. You're physically going to have a better advantage of playing the piano because your hands can be bigger, your fingers will be longer, you're going to have a bigger stretch of your hand, which means playing octaves, ninths, and tenths are going to be a lot easier, okay? So all those 7 points really are to encourage you to start learning the piano as soon as possible. Even if you're an adult, it's definitely doable. It's not something that, again, because you didn't start early on, it's now impossible. It's not like that. People can learn piano at all ages, whether you're 15, 12, 36, 85, 102, it doesn't matter. Human beings always have the capability to learn, no matter what age you are. We always have these neurons and this big brain of ours to figure things out and come up with solutions. So all that to say, if you're really serious about piano, I want you to go ahead and head over to www.latestartpiano.com. On that webpage, I have a free guide that's going to help you set up exactly what you need to know when starting piano as an adult. There is 34 tips in there. Again, this is completely free. 34 tips in that guide. All you have to do is go to latestartpiano.com, click on the big bright button that says get this free PDF, enter your email address, and you'll have instant access to that immediately. So let me know if that helps. Again, head over to Late Start Piano. You can play the piano. It's not too late, and I'm here to help you do so. Any questions, leave them down below in the comments, or you can email me at latestartpiano.com. Again, my name is Josh LaFleur. Happy practicing.